is everybody good and ready?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll give you ready. I don't know about good.
in the room.
I was gonna say, where'd Terry go?
I lean towards evil. Not good. Sorry.
Okay. Oh, he's here. Yay, okay. We're good. Let's see. Okay. So when last we left, you merry travelers had been going through the forest to the west of Evikro. You should all, I think you're on the main map.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Uh-oh. Lost Tucker. Okay. You were traveling through the forest to the west of Evikro, following Wile's guidance to find the druids. You were instructed not to kill any of Ma'aka's creatures unnecessarily or harm her forests in any way, and warned that failure to comply would bring upon you the wraths of the forest, of the gods themselves, and the fist of the druids. Hearing strange noises, you had split up and discovered these strange deer frog creatures that had sprung out literally as a result of the excess magic in the ley lines.
And Auntie Dreamgaze killed 2 of them, right?
No, she did not. You just your mouth. How
I
dare
thought
you?
she killed all of them.
Right?
Weird.
How dare you
It was like a
threaten
fireball or something.
my adorable little frog deer? How dare you? You determined that they were the result of an overload of magic and thus no threat. So you heeded Wile's warning and decided not to harm them and continue on your way. So that's where you are now.
Yeah, I'm not killing weird frog deer things. Those things were fugly. They were.
They were cute. They're the cute ugly. In my
She has standards. She doesn't kill fugly things.
No.
Yeah. So Arazu is safe.
No.
Oh
Did anybody else lose Chris?
no.
I see him. And I hear him too.
You see yourself? What?
Well, I can hear him, I think.
Oh.
Looks
I
like he's
just can't-
reconnecting.
Now I just.
He's
I
back.
can-
Okay, reconnecting fixed it. Poor Roll20. We're all like just destroying it every day. All right.
Yeah, I bet their customer base has like quadrupled.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, all the tabletop things have. Yeah, everyone's at home playing video games.
Yes. The good. So you guys, unless there's anything else you would like to do, just continue moving along through the forest, or did anyone have anything specific they wanted to do or keep an eye out for?
Not at this time, I think.
Doll's got something. Doll's got something.
What's up?
I just wanted to make some food because I'm pretty sure everybody's hungry.
Sure. If everybody's hungry, we can stop for a quick snack.
I think I'm still affected by something and I can't eat his food.
You're still constipated.
Yeah,
Also,
that was it. It was I got really bad food poisoning last time, and like I can't eat his food for like a week.
Was that what it was? Oh yeah, I did new ones.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So Auntie's not hungry, but if the others are, Doll, you're more than welcome to request to set up camp, see how they feel.
Anybody hungry? Want some food? I'm a little bit famished. Yeah? Nope? Maybe?
Nope, I'm good.
Everybody else? I got plenty of supplies. Make sure I got
I'm
extra
still-
to get snacks.
I'm still a little blocked up from last time, honey.
Well, like I told you before, I got something to clean you up real good. If you like it.
You went rogue.
I'm sure the druids are going to feed us. It's like ceremonial, and I just want to save room for them.
Well, I don't think they'll let you eat meat, so if you want meat, I got something.
They would. They're not vegan. Or can you be vegan in this world? Vegetarian? Whatever. You're fine.
It's the world. I hope you know.
They'll eat meat. All right. Well, if it doesn't sound like there's a line for this handout of snacks, we can just continue onward. Where did that go? Oh, wrong page. There we go. So you've been moving through the forest. I think at this point it was early evening when you guys had encountered the frogs, because you stopped off at the alchemists on the way. And by the time the sun is properly starting to set, you are around here on the map. I'll ping it. You're around here. I don't know if everyone can see that. And at this point, Wiley kind of holds up a hand calls for everybody to stop, and his gaze is focused on a particularly large tree up ahead. It's not, some magic enormous tree, but it looks a little older than the ones. Yeah, there you go. Not quite that north, but yeah, that area. After you guys have stopped, he whistles a short little tune, just a few notes. And the last one, it seems to reverberate out like it's sinking into the forest rather than bouncing back. And out of the trees emerges a man who looks strikingly similar to Wiley. Though he's shorter and a little bit leaner, the family resemblance is very strong in their facial features, heavy, very strong features, gray skin tone. His horns are unlike any you've seen on a Vaughn before. They, about a hand's width from where they rise from the crown, split into two horns, one which wraps around the sides of his head like Wiley's, and another which arches higher and further back, protecting the whole of the head. And let's see, where was I? Sorry. They're decorated or perhaps grown over with vines, which twist from one horn to the next, creating a kind of veil, which falls down over his back. Yes, Dahl?
Yeah, so I had a question. Is it unnatural for us to see because it's like unnatural that it grows that way, or if it's just different?
Just that it's odd. Just that it's odd. Kind of like how it's odd in the first place for a half-orc, half-Vaughn to both look like an orc and have the horns. The Vaughn, when they have kids with other races, don't tend to keep the horns. So that's just unfamiliar. But now you've seen two of them. So maybe not as unfamiliar in the outskirts of the cities. So as this man steps out from the trees, he addresses Wiley and says, "Your tone has not exactly gotten better over time, but I see you bring guests." And he looks to the rest of you and gestures and says, "Welcome."
I don't know. I think it was mostly on pitch. Was it on pitch?
You would know. Yeah, it was on pitch. This is just brotherly roasting. That's just like,
Okay.
oh, you've never been as good as me.
Well, thank you for having us. Oh, ow.
Was that yawn in character?
Are you guys tired?
Thanks for having us.
Long journey. Oh, we can rest.
These old bones, these old bones, honey, are getting real tired. I appreciate your hospitality. Is there anywhere we might be able to rest our legs a little bit before we get down to business?
Business. And he kind of hesitates for a second and then nods to himself and says, "Sure, if you would like to follow me," and turns around and starts walking.
These boots are made for walking.
He's not wearing boots. Your boots are made for walking. He has hooves.
Yeah, I mean, I glance over at Wiley and then I follow his brother.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so you guys follow along. As you kind of leave this area, you move around the tree, you hear rustling from above you and behind you, the area where you had just been. And other than that, you just continue to move through the trees for a while until you begin to start seeing what look at first like hunting perches high up in the trees, stands of wood that are attached to the trees with no seeming way to climb up, but there are clearly people on them. For the most part, they're dressed similar to this man you just met, in that it's very little, but definitely they are all armed. Everyone has a bow and some kind of blade, it seems. As you continue to move through, these structures get larger and more elaborate and start becoming actual homes, it looks like, or places where someone could live. And eventually they seem to sink from higher up in the trees lower down until you come across what looks just like an average village deep in the forest. There are still some spots further up in the trees that have structures, but for the most part now you seem to be in a village. As you move then, he will lead you to oh, sorry, go ahead, Derek.
Sorry, I don't. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I was wondering, the path that we're taking, does it look like it's a well-trodden path, or is it just like a way we followed, and all of a sudden, like, bam, we're in a village kind of thing?
The second one, there isn't actually a path. There's no laid out area. There isn't exactly foot traffic up and back between the druids and quote unquote civilization. They like to keep that distance, and so they don't bother maintaining a path. They can make their way through the forests, and the people who are able to see them and find them are deemed worthy.
So,
So-
question.
Mhm.
Sorry to interrupt again. I was saying, would it be easier for us to get lost on that path, even if we're following somebody, kind of thing?
If you're following someone and of good intent, no.
And if we're not in good intent,
Maybe you should ask us all that.
Do you want to make an arcane check? You could make an arcane check or a perception check. Anyone who wants to could do that.
What I wanted to ask is, does it look like steps are being magically concealed and covered? Like,
Oh, like tracks are being hidden?
yeah.
Okay, I guess that would be a survival if you wanted to do that. Or if you wanted to specifically focus on, is it magic doing that, Arcana?
That doesn't matter. I suck at both.
Well, you did fine. Okay. So Dahl and Alaris, you're not noticing anything in particular. For Auntie and Wiskava, you both notice that you notice two things. It's not that their tracks are being magically hidden, it's that he's moving through the forest with a care that makes it look like he's just, since he has the hooves, he could have just been a deer passing through. The way that he's walking and where he's moving leaves a kind of track that would mislead someone. So there's that. And then you get the sense that it's less that they would have magic to confuse and more that there is magic here to lead. So if someone got lost and was in danger, they could find themselves here where they would receive help. It's more defensive than anything.
Okay.
But yes. Okay. So, sure enough, like Wiskava guessed, he'll lead you to a small kind of banquet hall, a meeting room, and there's plenty of food out for you, and you're more than welcome to, he gestures for you to seat yourselves wherever you'd like, and takes a seat himself. Wiley, of course, sits near him.
Go ahead and sit down.
Yeah.
And
There's a healthy mix of meat and other things, so Alaris should be good.
I was going to say, if there's anything that stands out that looks definitely different, Dahl's going to try it, and maybe he's going to critique things as he eats.
Sure. It's less that there are fancy dishes and more that in a kind of more classical French style of cooking back when, it's about using the ingredients that are available in their quote unquote purest form. So it's a lot less of manipulating it. It's not raw eating, but it's about talent in the preparation rather than look how fancy and expensive this ingredient is.
So less cooking, more warming up and presenting.
Yeah, in essence, with exceptional blade skill. Yeah.
Auntie looks like at the food hungrily, but also is like looks at Dahl and then remembers what's going on with her and just kind of sits down, kind of just like with a huff.
There could be tea made available to you if you think that would help with some processing.
She will. She'll be like, I'm not exactly hungry. Do any have any tea? I would really appreciate some tea.
Oh, certainly. And they have little baskets of options for tea, and I'm sure there would be peppermint among them, which could help.
She like makes a weird concoction of various diuretic herbs.
Okay. If you, let's see, I think it was that you were,
There's probably some peppermint.
you
some
had an
licorice.
issue, I think, for a week is what I had you at.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll a d7 for me? I know it's not an
Explosive
actual.
poops. Explosive poops.
It's not an actual.
It should be.
I mean, I'll add it if you
A
want me
3
to add.
on the
A
D7.
3. Okay, so you are 3 days less constipated now. You are now only clogged for 4 days. You're good. I wanted to give you some assistance there because you're actively trying.
She does make a weird face because like she would probably put some. She definitely there's some anise, some peppermint, like there are flavors that are nice but probably don't really go together.
Weird together, effective, nice on their own, strange. It's like a licorice peppermint kind of concoction you have there. Yeah. Delicious on their own.
Yeah.
How many people are in this banquet hall besides us?
Right now, there are only a few. They seem to be just kind of sitting by the windows, eating on their own. It strikes you more that this is an informal place where everyone can just come and go to eat, more like a cafeteria or an inn than a lord's dining hall like Guy would have.
Okay. So there's no like chairs of significance or anything, or
No, there's no like this is the high table and the fancy seat. No. It's all very communal.
okay.
So there are cushions on the ground, is what I'm hearing.
I actually, the reason I kind of laughed to myself, so I was like, oh, I could make this a real hippie situation, and everybody's got beanbag chairs on the ground. There's a lava lamp in the corner. No, not quite. I didn't think of that. Next time.
And he would have read her tea leaves after she was done. That's what that 19.
Oh, is that what that is?
That's
1903.
19 and 4 are my divination rolls.
Okay, there you go. Oh, good 19. Those are good ones.
Chairs or benches?
Chairs.
So Alaris will sit down and thank them for the food and proceed to start having some of the meat. And side note, Alaris should remember this, but I am having problems remembering what we actually wanted to ask the druids. I know that
It's been a
the witches
Yeah.
that we could have gone to, and now we're at the druids.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what we wanted to ask them.
I kind of figured that this was going to be a re-entry episode because it's been a bit, and it's been a while since so it was the druids contacted you. They sent the eco bird, the big toucan that talks to you in limericks, and the bird had specifically said that it didn't matter if it had been sent to you by the druids or the witches, both needed your help or both wanted to speak with you. I don't actually remember your group rationale for going to the druids first, other than maybe they were closer. And you figured, well, it was a bird. It's got to be the druids. And later, when the spell wore off and the bird could communicate normally, he told you that, yeah, I was sent by the druids, but the witches helped give them the power to let me do this for so long. So
I think our main rationale for going to the druids first was we met Wiley.
Yeah, and
you found Wiley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we in order to get to the witches, we needed a boat.
Yes. Which I'm kind of loving this. Can we pretend this is happening just like in hushed whispers at the table? Because as you say that, like, well, we needed a boat to get to the witches. Wiley will lean over and actually go, I didn't know you needed a boat. I have a boat. Wiley, it didn't come up last time, but maybe this could be said now, is a prior naval captain and still has a boat and goes on fishing trips and stuff. And that was why he was dropping off fish-related items to the alchemist before you guys left. Well, he didn't know that you guys wanted to see the witches. He thought you just wanted to see the druids.
Yeah, apparently the witches want to see us too, so...
Yeah, I don't really want to see the witches, though. They me and them have some history. Long history.
When you say that, the new guy, he actually kind of chuckles to himself and like, not so subtly, then is like pretending to hide it in his glass. You know, the witches can be difficult to deal with, but
stubborn and vindictive is the words I like to use. But
perhaps that as well. We did both need to see you. That is why we worked together to reach you the way that we did, rather than wait.
Well, we're here now. Could you share a little bit of why you tried to contact us?
He'll look at Wiley and back to you and say, first, perhaps introductions, since my little brother here seems to have forgotten his manners. I am Hooki, a member of the Druids here. We contacted you for reasons that I believe you will be familiar with at this point. The ley lines are corrupted. Something is happening and it is poisoning Ma'aka. We, with the witches, were able to look forward, I guess you could say, and saw that certain members among you would be particularly important in combating this, and all of you would have something to do with it.
Take out one of the plants that we had found growing that seemed to, that from Alaris's dream was what she was able to eat to be able to breathe again. And I'll actually present it and hand it to him. Can you tell me anything about this? It seems to be significant in regards to the corruption and combating it.
And he'll, oh, wait, hold on. He'll go, and he'll take the plant. And so, and he'll sit there for a second and look at Blaze, and he seems to just kind of be touching all over it to analyze it, and says that, well, this is certainly interesting. This you found in abundance, yes?
Yes.
This is much larger than they should be. They are not normally this large. They seem very potent. I'm afraid I myself cannot tell you too much about these. That would be better handled by the witches, but perhaps another druid here would know more than me.
Okay.
Oh my god, you guys, with your chat. Sorry. I just saw that. Maybe the ley lines did sample Doll's cooking. Maybe Doll's cooking is tied to the ley lines. Maybe that's what it is. The pan is attuned to it.
How long has this corruption been going on? We are in pursuit of an individual who has been intentionally corrupting Fae and other creatures for his own probably misguided but vile deeds.
He seems kind of taken aback and it's Fae now. Huh. Well, the corruption has been slow growing for years. At first, we thought it was just a whim that would pass every now and then. Negative energy will build up, but naturally it'll dissipate on its own. This is unprecedented. This man you're looking for, however, I believe is a symptom. I believe he is a result of this.
An opportunist.
Perhaps, or a victim. I'm sorry, it's all in riddles, but it's a druid.
No,
I don't know how else to play a druid.
So here's the question, because we're all from different parts of the island.
Yeah.
Has any of us, especially maybe some of us that are more
Local.
nature-based, notice corruption outside of this Malika area?
I don't remember who rolled them, but the people who rolled the checks for sure, recognizing that initially that Echo, the bird, was in the wrong area at the wrong time, would have maybe also recognized that it does seem that the fauna, at least, aren't migrating in their normal patterns. The animals, the birds, and everything. I mean, typically on an island, they do kind of just migrate about as they will, even if they have their own quote-unquote seasons. But things do seem to be moving, and previously inhabited areas are kind of drying out. It's something that Alaris probably would have noticed pretty significantly, and maybe even had a conversation with Urdu about via their notes, because it is very odd. Other than that, it's unfortunately nothing significant that you've seen yet, like a big fracture in the earth or anything like that has happened. But you have noticed some, now that you think back, you can trace a couple things that might be connected.
This is kind of a weird question with that, because obviously, Auntie being a diviner and kind of a
Yeah.
witch doctor. Would she have noticed weird weather patterns or anything like unseasonable things on the island? Not just animal movements, but like
Yeah, other natural phenomena.
Yeah.
Nothing that would immediately, like certain even minor shifts in weather on an island like this would result in massive storms. So nothing quite like that, but and I don't want to give just there's an ominous thing in the air. But I would say that you have gotten hints of things being unseasonable. You know, it's a little colder, one would say, in areas than maybe it should be, or a little warmer in somewhere else, or
can we find the coldest spot?
yeah, right.
We know where the coldest spot in
I want you guys to know that ever since that happened, a major plot point in this story has changed and is now tied into that. I want you to know. I love that.
I don't see that. I was waiting for him to be like, "Do you guys need anything else?" And I was like, "There's two things in one. One thing's gonna be serious, and be like, hey, you know where the coolest truth is here."
Yeah, no. So I legitimately love that so much. As soon as that happened, I changed a plot point. So a whole thing happened / will happen based on that. The coldest spot in the room. It's a whole new thing now. So yeah, there.
Well, I have noticed slight differences in certain migrations, but I confess I'm not from here. It didn't seem terribly out of the ordinary. What specifically corruption widespread are you referring to? And could you show us?
Where'd my dice go? Hold on. I don't have them. Wait, no, where are my dice?
Just see, they're all
Sorry,
funny.
my office flooded and I don't know where anything went. Hold on. I need to find my dice. I'll be right back. It's in here somewhere. I'm just not sure where it went. Because he needs to roll something on you now. Oof.
And we want a flashback of us having this meeting ahead of time to figure out what we actually want to talk about when we actually met this person.
Yeah, while I roll this, if you guys want to chat, go for it. Okay.
Anyway,
Auntie's here for the tea and to just listen. She really doesn't feel like it's her. Like, she's pretty nervous around druids or witches. She has a. I feel like her history with the druids isn't nearly as weird, but like, it's still.
I feel like she understandably has a nervousness about magical institutions and groups that are organized in some way. I feel like there's
have specific taboos and like.
There's an issue there. Yeah, she's working on it, but yeah, for sure, I get it. So hold on. What was Kava's question? If he could show you this. Ooh, can you? I wouldn't know what role this is. I'm gonna go with charisma. Could you give me a charisma?
Just a straight charisma check?
Yeah, just a straight charisma check. Okay. So he looks at you and
Oh, actually that's a 10. Sorry.
oh, do you not have
No, I should get my oh, maybe not. That might be right.
what is
I
it?
just want yeah, that is right. Never mind. That's right.
Okay.
It's figuring it right.
No worries. So he looks hesitant and says, I don't believe I could show all of you, but there are at least a couple of you who would, I believe, be susceptible to such a vision. He says, you went to the ruins of Malika, did you not?
We all did.
Who swam in the water?
well, I'm not sure if you would call it swim in the water. I believe we
See, I
transversed
believe we
to-
sunk straight down.
Oh,
She tried her best.
I would like.
There was a presence. There was a presence. I will investigate that presence in a less trying time.
There,
But yes, that would have been me.
That.
there's no need to investigate. That presence was us, and the witches, and the school itself. And he'll repeat saying that, remember, you and Arazu, being the one who experienced your memory afterwards, you both remember, you didn't get the actual words, but you got the impression of them, so you can't remember them. He says something that now is in a language you don't know, it's in Druidic, but that gives you that same feeling. It's that same sentence, that same thing. He says that place is what ties the three of us together. The witches, the druids, the school. If you are that inquisitive and willing to open yourself to other experiences, I could perhaps show you the corruption along the ley lines.
Of course.
And he's gonna kind of like lean over to his kava and be like, beware that statement. Open to other experiences is how I don't remember about 3 years of my life. After I ate some unusual mushrooms.
As I said it, I was like, "Oh, this is a drug trip description, and that's not what I meant. That's my bad."
Gee, I attended a university as well.
The universityers. We all know what that's like. It's fun. So yeah, he'll tell you basically that if it's not the right time tonight, but if you guys are willing to stay, he would be more than welcome to discuss this with you tomorrow. He's not closing off conversation, just
Okay.
That's that.
So were you the one who reached out, or?
I am the one who, I was going to say recorded, but I'm the one who instructed the Echo, yes. But that was a group decision. We don't have a true leader here. We work together. A hippie collective.
Well, I can't speak for the rest of everybody. I'm just looking for two things right now. I'm just the cook. Hi, nice to meet you. My name's Dahl. Tries to reach out.
He'll shake your hand. Nice to meet you, sir.
I'm sorry. Gotta clean my hand up. Sorry about that. A little cooking mess. Well, nice to meet you. So, I'm sorry, but have you ever heard a thing called feng shui, something like that? Well, I can't sleep comfortably unless I know where the coldest building is and I can sleep relatively to it. The other thing is I'm looking for specific spices if you have, specifically some Kurani spices or some Hawani spices. Other than that, I'm pretty good for everything else. But I'm just a cook. Don't mind me.
There's no such thing as just anything in a group. Anyone who contributes to a society has their value. If you would like certain spices, you're more than welcome to head to the kitchens. I'm sure that they could supply you with some of whatever you're looking for. As far as the coldest building, he kind of like grins to himself. Does it need to be a building?
Well, that's what usually happens. When a building is considered the coldest building, it's usually a building.
Okay.
I'm not an engineer. I'm just a cook. But
Well, then you
I think
won't be. My specification here is that then you will not be welcome in the coldest place among our society. But I can lead you to the coldest building, or I'll have
Well, no.
someone. And he
why would I
waves.
not be welcome there?
He's already waving someone else over and says, "Would you like to guide him?"
Well, why would I not be welcome to the coldest place? I mean, that's quite rude. You just met me, sir. I just want to know where it's at.
The grin drops and he gets serious. He says, "You said you were looking for a building. I asked. You said specifically a building."
Yes, but I didn't say I needed to go see it. I just asked if you were what it was so I can sleep in relation to it.
I am pretty sure you did say building, or you said see it, but that's also fine. If you would like to know where it is, are you willing to accept that not all dwellings are buildings?
Well, I'm looking for the coldest building. That's what I was looking for. If you just got a map and you can point me in the direction, I believe you. You seem like a nice fellow. But
Sure. He doesn't have, there's no map like of the place, but he'll say, sure, the first building you encountered on the way here would be the coldest building. And he'll also point you in the direction of where the kitchens, I guess, would be attached to the building.
much obliged. And he walks away.
And he picks up his glass and takes a long drink.
Yeah, Dahl sometimes has that effect on people. Kind of get used to him after a while.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's a delightful, weird skeleton bear.
What a delightful little skeleton bear. Sorry.
What she means that he's a bear with a skeleton, like all bears are, you know.
He does look at you strangely and goes, yes. He's like very clearly not in on that joke. He's just like, certainly.
I imagine Alaris has a really weird expression on her face as she is now imagining a bear without a skeleton and is
Just-
it's kind of floppy.
Just a puddle
He
of
walks
fur.
over at you and is like, "You're thinking of bear ooze right now, aren't you, Alaris?"
Yeah.
Okay, well, hold on. I got to make a note because now I have to make bear ooze a thing.
Yes.
Hold on, bear ooze. Bear ooze, all caps. Okay, look forward to that. I got to make a bear ooze now. So, yeah, you guys can continue to eat. If you guys want to keep chatting.
Auntie
Sorry.
actually wants to basically finish her tea, and I'm sorry, it's a little late for this for these old bones. Is there anywhere I can rest my head for the night?
Yes, certainly. If you would like
and,
the-
Katsu here. I was hoping. Where is my chicken?
I was just gonna say, wait a second. Katsu and Florian are both definitely in this building with you.
Okay.
They're definitely in here. The building just changed a little bit in my head. It's now got big enough doors for Florian. They're both in there, standing behind you, munching on hay and whatever the hell Katsu wants, respectively. Okay.
And, if anyone could look after Katsu, she's a bit skittish. Around new people, aren't you, Katsu?
I'm going to imagine that you're sitting close enough and he'll reach out to pet Katsu, and Katsu's that bird, like hesitant, like, what are you doing? And then, oh, okay, that's fine. And lets him pet her. I could take you specifically to rooms where they would be able to stay in there with you, or I could show you the area we allow such creatures to stay. It is not a building. It is an area so that they are not contained.
I trust you. I trust whatever. You
Okay.
probably know better than me how to take care of such a magnificent creature as this.
A giant chicken. Yeah, it's basically an open air, extremely loosely fenced in pen. It's really more just there are certain things attached to trees to keep the animals from running further away. But it's not like
as
close.
long as the fox doesn't get her, I'm happy with it. And then I can let it.
Thankfully, the giant foxes aren't here this time of year. You'll be okay.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
more worried about it than just a normal fox, but okay. I would hate to
God,
come out
now I'm
and-
trying. I'm imagining a
come out and have
normal
something
fox.
attached to her leg gnawing on it when I woke up in the morning.
In my head, the size differential is like if she was that size, and then the fox is like the size of a chihuahua in
Yeah.
comparison. Like, I'm gonna get you. Yeah.
I
So
hate for her to step on the fox, honestly.
feel bad for the fox. He just wants a snack.
Yeah.
Someone can come and lead Katsu and Florian away, but before they take Florian, they'll look to Wiskava to make sure that that's okay.
Well, so if Florian's in the building with us, then Wiskava is holding her own plate. She's got a big plate then, doing the whole like waiter hold. And
For the
it's
hors d'oeuvres.
over her shoulder. Like they're sharing a plate together.
Okay. They're happy at that. And so am I. So yeah, okay. Do you want Florian to stay with you then, or go with Katsu?
You know, in a place like this, maybe I would prefer to stay with Florian.
Whatever is most comfortable for the both of you. So he will ask, do you want the most defendable position? Do you want housing that is more, shall we say, open air? what is most comfortable? Some people are more comfortable on the ground, in the ground, above the ground.
So Doll wants somewhere close to a cold building. I am most comfortable in the warmest area you have.
Certainly.
Arazu wants to sleep as high as possible.
Okay. Now, I really want everyone's preferences real quick. Donald's already gone in on his way, but go ahead,
No,
Jared.
I know, but you said defensible place. I'm wondering if where we getting attacked because I left before that actually happened. So now I'm going to be someplace in the open, and everyone else is going to be not worrying about it. I'm gonna be stuck someplace.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately, that is the case. He's not okay. He doesn't say it in like a foreboding way or anything. He's not like there's an imminent attack. It's more like, do you want like a fortress, or are you okay with the tent? Like, where are you at on your comfort scale out in nature, kind of thing. But you're already gone. You're at just some rando building at the edge of town.
We usually get to attack, in 2 hours from now normally, so it's okay.
All right, so Alaris wants somewhere warm. Arazu wants somewhere high up. What do Jin, Wiskava, and Auntie want? I'm kind of assuming Auntie wants to stick with Alaris, and old people are always cold, so does she want the warm spot too?
No, actually, because Bassam is because actually switched to Bassam, and Bassam will take a tent, but she actually doesn't want to be in a building. She wants to be able to see the stars and wants to be
That's doable.
And really doesn't want to be around these druids for any extended period of time.
Again, fair.
Yeah.
Wiskava wants to turn to Wile and be like, well, where do you sleep?
Oh God.
Wile, not missing a beat, goes, I usually stay at my brother's place, and he'll look over at Hooki, who does register what you just said, unlike brother, and goes, I could give you different lodging if you would like. How about you take one of the side buildings? And he names a specific area that I won't right now. But Wiley goes, I mean, if you're having company tonight, sure, that's fine, I guess. But num, 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 num. How about Jin?
Jin is probably going to be closer to Arazu, but closer to the ground. He doesn't want to go up in the trees.
That's fair.
So he'll probably set up a tent or something like at the base of wherever the tree is.
We are
Arazu's
so
at.
spread out. We are definitely getting
You are.
attacked tonight.
Oh, I love this setup. This is so good for me. Okay,
Hey.
so
Jin's exactly where he wants to be.
we just went around. So where? Okay, I'm going to describe the easy ones first, which are Auntie, Arazu, and Jin. Auntie and Arazu, and Jin, you are all led to a little further back the way you came, where there are more sparse buildings and more structures in the trees. And you are directed to a few that are sparse but empty. And welcome to say there, they do not have roofs. They have kind of thin sidings. It's very clearly more of like, again, a hunter's nest, but this is clearly meant for sleeping and staying in. They could fit 1 to 2 people each, but you're each welcome to take your own, which I kind of assume you will. And Jin, there's plenty of space beneath whichever one Arazu takes for you to set up a tent if you'd like. Are you going to be in one together or separate? Auntie and Arazu, or Bassam and Arazu, sorry.
Bassam is literally going to find one that she can just clamp down on, and then she's going to spend like an hour before bed praying and studying her spell books so she can redo her spells.
Okay.
It's like if Arazu or Jin want to join her, she doesn't really care, but like she does want it quiet, and if they start making noise, she's gonna be like, shh.
You're not having a poker night. It's study session. Got it. Okay.
Arazu's literally stringing a hammock from the highest branches he can find.
Okay.
And sleeping open air.
With these deciduous trees, you would have an easy enough time finding thick enough branches to hold your special elven weight, your little flimsy ass. You'll be fine. And yeah, Jin, you'll be all right as well. There aren't necessarily like pulley systems or mechanics to get up into the tree, especially the one Arazu's in. Yeah, you don't need them. But if Jin would want to get up into that thing at some point, it would be a climb. You would have to physically grab the tree and climb up it.
Jin doesn't have to climb. He could just levitate over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot you had that. Yeah. So, not that it matters to you, but if you were normal people with normal skills, and normal bodies, you would have to climb the tree instead of just like namaste your way up. So, so you three are fine. Dahl is, I'm assuming, set up in his cold house. Wiskava and Alaris, you are taken with Wyle further and further away from the town in the opposite direction you came. So you're now passing through the rest of it. Eventually, similar to how you entered, the buildings become more sparse. There are more buildings in the trees, and then those disappear slowly and become just stands as well. All of a sudden, Hooki stops and makes sure you stop as well, and then gestures to a very specific glyph on a tree and steps down into the ground there. From a distance, you had not seen it, but it is an immediate drop-off and onto a cliff. And I don't have a more detailed map because everything's broken, but essentially what it is from a distance, it all looks like one flat plane, but when you're there physically, you can see that it's a fault that goes straight down. And so he takes you and leads you through these stairs carved essentially into the earth like the old adobes, and it is carved into the ground. Deep there is a whole connection of rooms, hallways, buildings. Most of them that are along the wall are open air or have some kind of glass installed as windows. But deeper and deeper, it obviously will get warmer and warmer, especially as you can notice there are places here that are set up as furnaces or minor blacksmithing, metalworking, things like that. So for Alaris, you'll be plenty cozy.
Yay.
For Wyle and Wiskava, you are taken to one of the similar rooms nearby, and Hooki will bid you all good night and then leave to go to wherever his place is.
Bow chicka wow wow.
Oh, well, I guess we're roomies.
Well, golly. Oh no, there's only one bed. What will we do? I guess we have to share. I don't want to be rude.
Was that Stefan's line?
Not that smooth.
Somewhere Basam's outside, but, like, somehow has gotten hold of a cello and is like is laying down a weird, funky bass line.
Oh my god, yes. Wait, strangely, there's a music hall nearby. I forgot about it. And all of a sudden, they're practicing jazz. Wait, I forgot about that. I forgot to describe it. That's also definitely happening. You're like, oh, what's this new type of music that we've never heard before? I like it. Sorry, I'm fine. So yeah, you guys are all set up. Your nightly routines. We have aunties. I guess Arazu's not doing anything. Jin's hanging out. Go ahead, guy. Yeah, Dahl.
So Dahl is doing the usual lullaby. Like I said, I'm still working on the words, so I'll eventually get that for it. So after I do the lullaby, then I'll summon my fire elemental. I'll do my prayer, and then I'll go to sleep.
Okay. At some point, we do need to sit down and actually finish defining all of that for you, because it's getting important. So it's going to be more relevant very soon. How about Alaris? Is there anything in particular you wanted to do?
Not this night. She feels like it would be rude for her to go poking around like a rogue normally would, and she doesn't want to get on the bad side of the druids just yet.
You did just get here, yeah.
Yeah.
Very fair.
So she'll do her normal nighttime routine, stretch out, and find a nice warm, cozy blanket.
Okay. That leaves Wiskava.
Well, yeah, she
How do you want to play this?
didn't actually expect that to like work.
I kind of figured you accidentally got called on your bluff, and that's why I'm continuing to call you on it, because I want to see what you're going to do now.
No, she's gonna get really awkward, and she's going to, probably talk his ear off a little bit.
Like just the nervous chattering.
Yeah, pretty much. And totally be like, oh, so I'm assuming there is just like one bed
Extra
Are you-
extra big.
Are you regretting what's happened and trying to like hide that you're nervous, or what's happening? I need to know where you're at because he's about to insight check to see if he. Oh, yeah, he wants.
No,
He's-
she's not regretting exactly, but she has no idea where he's at because he's so oblivious.
It's
Yeah.
hubba hubba time. Just
Well, that's why he's gonna. Okay, so unless you're
I would like to
trying.
point out that as far as I can tell, Florian is still watching this entire thing.
Oh yeah, they have an audience. It's Florian. He's there. He's keeping an eye out. It's fine. This is
And
no.
she is starting to get the idea that Big Brother was messing with Little Brother a little bit too.
Maybe. So, what are you trying? What's Waskava trying to give off? What kind of? I'm doing a charisma. I'm going to check and see if he's picking up any of it.
Now she's being very complimentary. You know, oh, I can't believe that you're the little brother. You know,
Hold on. Oh my God, are you shitting
so
me?
he's much mature and
Oh,
obviously
his
big, and
And his response is, "Oh well, I mean, yeah, I know, I am a little bigger, but." He's not picking up on it. Like he's still just thinks you're
like-
literally.
he's like flexing his muscles over there.
No, he would literally be like, yeah, and so if you give him that's over there, and he's doing like,
oh, God, you know, I should have grabbed something, you know, to drink. Some obviously it's serious, and we can't.
He's so thirsty.
oh, you need, he's so thirsty. Do you need? I can grab something. I can ask someone. What would you like? I know my way around here.
Oh, I'm sure anything would be okay.
He seriously hesitates. Like shit, I don't know what to do then. I'll be right back, and then he leaves.
And then I don't like I don't strip down and jump in the bed but like I just start taking my armor off. I fix it all my makeup.
Vegetation.
I was just saying, yeah, just real quick, spritz up a bit.
Would you allow Alaris to peek her head out when she hears?
Absolutely, he's not trying to be stealthy.
I was definitely gonna because Bassam is mildly aware of what was going on. We'll probably actually sending to Alaris and like, I know you're spying on them. How's Waskava doing?
Yeah. So before she answers, she's going to recommend what she has seen Waskava really enjoy beverage-wise, so that Waylay has a little bit better idea what Waskava might like.
Okay.
And then
You can respond to this message.
and then once he continues on his way, Alaris will go, well, it's getting a little bit awkward. Waskava, I think, is trying to calm herself down for the next big step. And Waylay is
That'd be
getting
25
beverages.
words.
You're in a magic place. There's leniency. Shush.
Okay.
I'm allowing it. When he does step out and sees Alaris more or less eavesdropping, he doesn't understand that it's eavesdropping. He just thinks you're out. Oh, were you looking for something to drink too? And then you can.
Yeah, but go ahead and
Yeah,
we'll
that,
get in on what Waskava would like and go,
would Alaris like anything?
no, I'm good. Was just wanting to make sure that you guys were settling in okay before I pass out.
Okay, sure thing. If you do need anything, you can just yell. Someone will be nearby and awake, I'm sure. And he'll leave to go get whatever beverage it might be that Alaris said Waskava would like. Damn it. Okay, so he comes back and he gives you whatever the drink is. I don't know if you wanted wine or tea or water or whatever. And he immediately strips down and just gets into bed.
Oh, already? You just go to bed?
Oh yeah, weren't you guys tired? I thought that was why we wanted to.
Oh yeah, I just thought we would get to know each other a little bit. It's okay.
We can chat if you like. And he'll pat the bed, be like, "I don't bite."
Hard.
Shush. That has to go unsaid.
Yeah, I get down. I lay down on the bed next to him.
He genuinely just initiates small talk. It starts asking like where you're from, what musical instrument you started with, asking about Mapele. His
Oh, yeah.
tattoos are all there,
Yeah.
by the way, now that his shirt's off.
Oh yeah, and she's like asking him, when he starts talking about Pele and all that, she's asking about like, when did you get this one? What does this one mean?
So you guys are bonding. It is getting late. You're talking. He starts looking tired, like he's actually getting sleepy.
Okay.
Auntie's basically like, how loud are they being? Are you getting any of the good
Every
stuff?
time I do this, it's a 3rd level spell.
Oh, just using up before you go to sleep.
She just tries to like. She just as she starts to get tired, she just like throws her arms around him to cuddle.
Okay. Yeah, he
Does he
cuddles you back and falls asleep.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you guys cuddle and go to sleep. Absolutely, that's what happens now. I mean,
Yeah, that's
there you go.
I'm sure somebody's disappointed in all this.
I'm debating. Oh man. Okay, I'll share when we're done tonight. Hold on.
All the
Yeah.
wild-shaped druids who were in the room, like disguised as bugs, are like, "This is crap."
What the heck? I came for a show.
Maybe you do get the feeling like someone's keeping an eye on this. This is awkward, but it's just hilarious the whole time, like ear against the door. Like, oh, what happened?
No, I feel like there's a bunch of druids that are finding this funny. There's like,
Oh, probably.
if Auntie had scrying, she would have definitely guessed scrying.
Oh, I'm sure the older brother.
Dinner
is.
and
Yeah.
movie.
She would have turned it off as soon as anything happened, but it was
Right. But the build-up's the funny part.
yeah.
Okay. That's the night. You guys wake up the next morning. And now everybody who wakes up when? Where do you guys want to go from here?
I wake up super early because I only need 4 hours. So
Okay, so you wake up and it's still dark.
yeah.
What do you want to do?
He would go put his ear to the door to see if they've upped their game at all.
Auntie would wake up and at first light, probably around the same time Doll does. They have a tradition of making breakfast for everybody at this point.
Yeah, basically. So yeah, if you guys go back to that the kitchen of the hall you were in before,
Mhm.
you can
man.
help them
Is
out.
Doll
with
gonna cook for all the druids?
They let me, but I'm probably gonna use their pans and their stuff because I don't want to be rude.
Yeah, I was gonna say if he does and uses that stuff, I just need a cooking skill then from Doll.
and
don't mind.
Auntie is going to help him. So,
There you go. So if you're gonna be like a sous chef, can I get a roll from you too? Actually, because it will slightly affect how things go depending on how good or bad it is.
what kind of check do you want?
Since you don't have specific cooking, we'll go with just regular dex.
Okay.
Since you're just preparing the food that he then does stuff with. Okay, so the food, when everybody gets to it, tastes great. It's well prepared, it's cooked the right amount, all of that. Some things are cut to different sizes, and some things are a little lopsided looking, but it tastes great still, so no one complains.
Awesome.
But yeah, Terry, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say I don't know if any one of these guys eat it, but I know for the other people possibly would because they don't know any better.
Yeah, well, if they're not eating off of Dahlia's pan, then they'll eat it, yeah, and it's fine.
And
So what
He,
go ahead.
I was gonna say he also tries to doing of cookies because he knows everyone wants to eat the cookies, so he tries to figure out a breakfast cookie.
There is a thing with cookies in this group. Maybe you make like oatmeal raisin or something.
Well, because I know that's the only thing they will eat. So I'm saying it's like a healthy cookie kind of thing for breakfast.
Yeah.
Everything else they cook.
They have like non-cheesy flavored powdered nutritional yeast and like chia seeds, and there's a bunch of stuff you could put in the cookies to make them like breakfast bar type thing.
he invents Nutri-Grain bar.
Oh yeah, you basically invent the in round cookie format, but it's essentially a Nutri-Grain bar.
At which point Auntie will look at like really wanting to eat it, but it's like damn
You can still wrap it up and take it with you.
it.
But, okay. That's youth 1, 2, 3, 4. So who would be Alaris or Scott? You shush phone. Sorry. Go ahead. I am muted.
So Alaris normally wakes up pretty early. She still wakes up, but she doesn't actually leave her room until after Wiskava and Wayla leave theirs.
Okay. I will say, so here, hold on. I have one thing first. Oh, okay. So, well, actually, can Wiskava just roll me a d20 randomly for? I'm debating which one of you wakes up first. Is basically what I'm trying to figure out. But he got a 2, so I'm pretty sure you're getting up first. Yeah. Okay. Not by a lot, but so you wake up, and perhaps as you're getting out of bed, what did you wear going to sleep? You said you didn't strip totally naked, but what did you? Are you in
Like,
some sort of
Basically,
undress?
like her undergarments.
Okay, so
I mean, they're like
it's not like lingerie, but it's
no, they're like medieval undergarments.
yeah, medieval undergarments.
They're
but
like
still,
big bloomers and like
No wonder nothing happened.
so as you wake up and perhaps move out of bed, the movement wakes him up, and stretches and wakes up. And as he opens his eyes and sees you, he suddenly blushes, crazy dark red, and kind of like moves like he's gonna cover himself with the sheet, and then like and almost panics and goes to the adjoining bathroom. He got real embarrassed real fast.
okay.
Not used
So-
to waking up people, perhaps.
Okay. So when he does that, she grabs her stuff and runs up the stairs. She just leaves and runs up the stairs.
You don't even get dressed again?
No, because it takes her forever because she has scale mail. It takes her like 20
Fair.
minutes to put her armor on. So she just grabs it all, runs out in her underwear. Runs.
Okay, so Alaris, you hear almost nothing. You hear no words, or maybe he stammers out like a good morning and then hides in the bathroom. And so all you hear is the good morning, and then Wiskava look at it.
How many walk of shames?
Yeah. So she's kind of
It's
giggling.
like a runner shame. And it's like clank, 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 clank because she's carrying a bunch of armor in her arm.
It's really loud.
So
How
Alaris
far
will
away
go.
are they from where we're eating? Because I feel like if Bassam hears that, she's just gonna like.
It's a walk away. You wouldn't have heard it.
Okay.
Unfortunately. However, as with Scott, do you like once you're out of the situation, do you stop to get dressed, or are you just running around in your underwear now?
Well, she's gonna run to wherever Florian is.
Okay. Would Florian have come with you down the cliff and inside?
I don't think he could have made it down the stairs.
I didn't think so, but I didn't know if you'd want to like dismiss and resummon or something like that. Yeah. So he's just waiting for you at the top of those stairs then.
Yeah.
And
And I totally get up there and she's like, don't look at. No, I didn't. Don't look at me that way. Here, shield me. And she's going to go and start getting dressed behind him.
okay. As soon as you're finished getting dressed again, Hooki walks up the stairs and sees you and says, "Good morning. Have a pleasant evening."
Yeah, when she sees that, she like drops her stuff and stands up like super like, like tin soldier, like, yeah. Trying to play it off.
Yeah, he nods like he's playing into that and goes, "You just have to be patient. He's a little dense," and just keeps walking.
He's
he has
not dense. I like it.
You like that he's dense? And then
He's not. I'll beat you up.
it's okay if you like that he's thick. There's nothing wrong with that.
He is thick.
Thick boy. So there you go. That was this morning. You all go to breakfast. He does eventually make it and is very clearly trying to play it cool, but is also still kind of like always blushing just a little bit.
So Alaris does leave her room after she hears Wiskava running away. And she's
Okay.
just kind of whistling a jaunty tune as she walks back up.
Okay.
Waves to Wiskava, wishes her a good morning, pats Florian on the head.
Because Wiskava's yelling into the forest about someone. We're like, no,
Puppy, shut up!
what's happening?
Did someone touch you inappropriately, Wiskava? Is that why you're yelling? Do I need to go like track that person down?
Beat him up. Oh.
It's all good. I'm just move on.
All right. Just wanted to make sure you were okay.
Okay. I didn't expect this. I didn't even think about giving you guys assigned rooms. I had no idea. I'm very glad I didn't, though. This is phenomenal. This character we're growing people. Not in that way. So after
Apparently not.
apparently, not yet. So you guys go to breakfast, and there aren't any other people there.
When
What would-
Alaris comes in, Bassam will like. So details. Did it happen, or did two blind people completely whiff it again?
So Alaris is like plops herself down next to Bassam and fills her in on the morning's events.
And
I'm gonna
just starts
say-
chuckling.
As that happens, that's when he walks in. Marley walks in and kind of just, good morning. And he goes and
Morning,
Sits
man. Good morning. How was your night?
it was good. It was very, yes,
Anything
good.
eventful happen? I mean, I don't know about you, but like, oh man, it was difficult to sleep a wink. So sore.
The blush actually goes away and he goes back to him. Were you uncomfortable? You should have said something. We could have given you somewhere else to sleep.
At which point, Bassam was like, oh, it's not even fun to make fun of.
Are you making fun of the lodgings? If you didn't like them, you should have said something.
And the lodgings were perfectly fine. They were perfectly
Oh.
fine. They were perfectly adequate. I'm
Oh,
Can I
actually-
walk in now?
Yes, absolutely.
I walk in and I see this, and I walk up behind Auntie and Phyllis, and I just lean over and I say, "I slept very well." And I give Wile a wink that I know he's not going to understand. But I want Auntie to see me give Wile a wink.
He doesn't, but you've winked at him, so he blushes and stammers a little bit and goes and gets breakfast.
At which point, I would say Bassam actually misinterprets that and looks at the other and says, I think just nothing happened.
Nothing like that happened.
Quiet, you know?
I mean, if something did happen, they're the two most quiet people ever.
You wouldn't think that with half orcs. Like, I'm just putting that out there. That would be- So, did Doll prepare any?
Stereotype, we're not allowed.
God, or is that like an intimidation roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do an insight check.
Do it.
All right. Have we pushed Wiskava?
Oh my God, almost though. Okay,
Oh,
so
Alaris legitimately thinks Wiskava is actually pissed at her.
well, I also feel like Alaris definitely thinks, wait, maybe something did happen and they were just really quiet. Wait. Whereas Auntie's just like sees through it and
now realizes that she's
That was
embarrassed.
that's too much, yeah.
I didn't think that her buff would be called, and now there's this. So yeah, you guys have breakfast. And is there anything anyone wants to do before you meet up with Hooki again? You okay?
Too much ginger beer.
Fair.
Too much doll cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah, did Doll
That
prepare?
actually was in character. Like that's the sound of the tea, like working its magic.
It's working its way through you. It's helping out. It's helping. Did Doll prepare anything on Dahlia's pan, or was it all the druid's gear?
It was all whatever they had because he didn't want to pull out his stuff, saying their stuff wasn't good enough. That was the
Okay.
whole point. Trying to be rude.
So who eats breakfast then? I'm assuming everybody. Okay. No, Arazu. Arazu eats now.
Has his satchel of apples.
Okay. So
He's untrusting of any food that Doll prepares after witnessing his effects on other people.
So everyone, the rest of you, the other three of you, since Auntie still can't eat either, you're all astonished at the difference between this normal good meal and the strangeness you've seen as the result of the cooking before. Night and day, because there are no weird side effects. It's just a genuinely good meal. It's like, oh my god, wait, what? So yeah, there you go. Okay, if no one had, or did anyone have anything else they wanted to do? No? Okay, then we will say Hooki comes back now and says, I trust everyone rested well.
Some more than others. Some better than others.
I hear kitty.
Yeah.
Angry Puma. I'm trying to decide. I don't think he would crack a joke here now. So instead, he'll just say, I'm very glad that everybody found their settings comfortable. We should perhaps move somewhere more private to speak. And we'll guide you if you'll follow him out of the dining hall. And where he leads you is, instead of the path you had taken had obviously gone from east to west, he is now bringing you south, closer to that river. And there's a small clearing there that's maybe a half hour's walk outside of the Druid's kind of encampment. It seems like you've traveled through the forest significantly faster than you were before. You would assume this would take much longer to get here, but all of a sudden here you are. And, oh, wait, I need the thing. Where'd it go? There you go. As you step into the clearing, you see him take a seat, and out of the trees near the river comes the largest boar any of you have ever seen. Easily over 12 feet long, the creature is decorated with streaks of rich red paint, which trace up and down its body, ending in spirals, which encircle juts of spikes, which seem to be growing from its shoulder blades. Its eyes are dark and shining, and it watches you closely, but simply stands near Hooki, and that's it. Spiral. Is that a thing? What's?
No.
Oh,
Spiral ham.
Yeah.
I've heard of that one. The vegetarian. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, you guys are here now. What would you like to do? Are you standing? You sitting? Is someone gonna initiate? What's happening?
So why did you what did you want to talk to us about in private?
Everyone is aware of the contamination of the ley lines, but I don't believe everyone knows that this mad doctor you're searching for may very well once have been one of our own. And I fear for their reactions should they discover the strength of this contamination.
I'd assumed he was one of the wizards.
Unfortunately, I can't be sure, but his work sounds familiar with one of our prior Palina who left shortly after the contamination began. We haven't seen him since. It's been years. But undead have begun cropping up, and his previous fascination with not just medicine, but the connections between the medicine and the soul, the body, and its non-corporeal form were always somewhat disturbing.
So you summoned us here, what, to do some wet work for you?
Not necessarily, more to see if you would be capable of undertaking the task that has already been set out before you by your own actions.
He has managed to raise the corpse of a sprite. I did not even believe that was possible.
I didn't even think they left corpses until we saw it.
I did not believe so either until you said so, which leads me to believe this must have been a process he undertook while it was alive, which is no less disturbing.
Any idea where he... It sounds like you have a specific person in mind, a former master or pupil from your town. Do you have any idea where he was last seen?
The last time we saw him was when he was here with us, and we haven't seen him since, but I believe he's been moving based on the reports from our other members who have been telling us where these undead have cropped up. And he'll mention the places that Lucian has already told you about in Maleka, Evikro, and the 4 white spots. He'll mention those, but he will also say that there have been some sightings near Makaloa as well, the capital, though those are far less frequent and would have caused much more of a stir with the tourists and the people who lived there as the capital city. Sorry. As far as where he may be, I believe he's still in these forests. I believe that wherever he is set up is here, but I have not been able to find it. And frankly, with everything else going on, we can't dedicate the manpower to find him. We are using most of our resources to try and contain the contamination, while the witches are working to find a way to cleanse them.
So, is he pointing to this painted boar as an example of contamination?
No, he hasn't gestured to or even looked at the boar yet. Oh, I lost Becca.
I did too.
Okay.
Becca?
Was that on purpose? All right.
It's for dramatic effect.
What's that? I have everybody but you. No one has you. You're gonna have to restart. Reload.
I took
So,
that as
Becky-
Polaris stormed out of the conversation. I don't know.
Yay! Becca's-
If you would allow me, it seems like you're perhaps as bad as introductions as your brother, and I will mention towards the board.
Oh, burn. Girlfriend burn.
Oh,
She's gonna beat you up.
I like it. I will say Wiley is with you, and he snickers, and he says, "Yes, brother, introduce our friend here," and he'll gesture to the boar and say, "She will introduce herself when the time comes, but I suppose I could give you her name. Her name is Rhina. Rhina, you know who this is," and he nods towards his brother, and then the rest of you. The board doesn't say anything or move, but it does look to each of you and just stands there.
It's nice to meet you, Rhina.
I feel like if we were trying to find one person in the middle of this forest, we're all gonna get lost pretty severely. You can't spare anyone to guide us, to help us track this person.
He looks to Wiley, and Wiley hesitates, goes, "I don't know these forests as well as I once did, but I could try to assist. I don't spend all of my time here anymore." And the brother kind of goes like, more brother jabs.
So you mentioned.
Well-
Oh, sorry.
Go, Terry.
You know, it's your thing. I was gonna say, well, if you guys have a map, it might point us in the right direction. We can probably find it.
The only map of the area is the one that you're looking at now, like the whole island map. The area hasn't been charted specifically under the protection of the Polina. it's one of the measures that they took with the local government to try and protect the lands, because otherwise foresters may come through and try to take too many resources. Foreigners may come and misunderstand the infrastructure there, so our ecosystem.
Well, using the map that we have or any resources we have, like to ask them to narrow it down. The places that we know for a fact they aren't at, so we can move around and not have to worry about checking those places or double track
Okay.
to save time.
To save time, he could tell you that. So you can see that the land, at least in this area, is bisected by the 3 rivers that lead back out to sea, right? This first one that you've been in, that you're on the edge of now, he can tell you that I believe we would know if he is here. It is more likely that he is in one of these 3 southern sections, and I do not believe he would have the means or the patience to bother traversing the mountains.
Well, that narrows it down from the entire island to a much smaller area that we need to concentrate on, so that helps a lot.
You mentioned, though, that he is just a symptom of the corruption. I was hoping you would show us the source, or at least the initial.
Unfortunately, that is what we're working towards. We do not know at this time what caused this, and that in itself is far more disturbing. The corruption sprung up, and we cannot find an origin to it. We know only that it is malicious and intentional.
Perhaps we could start by you showing me the corruption, what this is.
Okay. Sorry, Dahl, go ahead real quick.
I'm just trying to piggyback on what she was actually saying, because I was trying to figure out if it seems like it's a magical based kind of corruption, or was it like a disease based corruption?
With the ley lines, since it's not a physical thing, it would be magic. It would be an arcane corruption. It could have stemmed from intent, like a physical consciousness, but it is arcane because it's the ley lines.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was arcane in nature, that's how it started, and then it spread it to people as through a disease to reach more.
I see what you're saying. He can tell you that he assumes that at this point it's passing magically rather than by any kind of virus or bacteria. Not that they would have words for that, but yeah, he'll say that he doesn't believe it's being passed in a physical form. He believes it's magic.
I'm gonna. What was the name of the person you suspect of doing all this?
Oh man, I forgot where I wrote. I forgot it, and I forgot where I wrote it down. Sorry, hold on.
I'm
You
sorry.
shall not be named.
I kind of need the name because I want to cast divination, and it'll make it a lot
Okay.
easier for me to do
I-
that.
So I think it's in this other doc somewhere, and this one's 33 pages. So can we pretend you have his name, and I'll send it to you?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna use. I'm gonna as soon as I take that name, I'm
Bob
actually.
Robertson.
Bob.
Bob Robertson.
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. His name is Bob Boberton. But it's like it's spelled not phonetically. It's like with A's and E's in places you wouldn't think, with umlauts for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So the Psalm is going to go ahead and like then I will try to pray for guidance. Figure out at the very least if he is still in this forest, so we're not chasing your own tail. And she's gonna cast divination.
So it's Bob Boberton, but this is how it's spelled.
Okay.
Oh wait, but with a. There we go. Okay, there we go. That's official now. So you're trying to see if you can tell where he is.
Yeah, I get to. I'm basically. I can't really tell. It's ask where he is, but I can ask if he still resides in this forest, or if he is still in this forest and will be in this forest for the next 7 days.
Okay. So what is? Go ahead.
I'll read divination, the spell divination, so you know
Wait,
what
I was just gonna ask what the area circumference of that is, because if he's moving to that area.
Okay, your
Like,
magic and an offering put you in contact with a god of God's servants. You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity. I'm using activity here. The activity of if he's here and if he's in the forest, and if he's going to stay in the forest.
Okay.
or activity to occur within 7 days. The GM offers a truthful reply. The reply might be a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen. The
Mhm.
spell doesn't take into account any possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as the casting of additional spells with a loss or gain of companion. Like anything we do, I'm asking about the current course of events,
Right.
not
Yeah.
anything that. And then there's also if I cast a spell more than once in a day, I get a cumulative 25% chance of it being wrong. But the first
Oh.
one is always correct. So
Okay, is it, do you mean cumulative in that it would continue to grow? Next time it would be
Yeah.
50, 75?
yeah.
Okay. Okay, so is this are you rolling for like a percentage of accuracy now? Or is
No.
that
That's only a subsequent uses.
Yeah.
okay?
Yep.
Okay. So as it is, I mean you do know that he is in this forest, and you can tell that he is also not in this. I don't want to actually know the second one. You get the. I don't have. Sorry, I suddenly don't have the wherewithal to do a rhyme or something cryptic for it.
no, that's fine.
All of a sudden it fucked up again. But I will say conveniently near this blue mark, I don't know who put it, but that's closer to where he is.
I'll be asking if there's bridges across these rivers and where they are.
There are periodic bridges, but also he'll tell you these smaller ones to the south typically are shallow enough that you could wade across them if you wanted to. But there are frequently naturally built dams, or if you wanted to, there are easy bridges here and there. There isn't a lot of foot traffic here, but there's enough by the druids that for those who may not be able to leap tree to tree and soar on the wind, they need someone who can, or they need a way for other people to pass.
So, if we happen to get in any more water, do we have to worry about you guys watching us again?
What do you mean?
Some of us like to get clean and take baths, so I think it might be weird if you're gonna start peeking on us again.
We've never peeked on you. I'm sorry you feel watched, but that is not by us.
Yeah, usually
Oh, it's okay. You have to go really deep.
using arcane traditions to spy on people. That's a gross violation of trust. Who would possibly do that?
He gives you a very specific but subtle look and goes, "Indeed," especially for such.
Well, I definitely said completely sarcastically, like.
Yeah. So yes, Terry. I've already written a sex cult for one game. Make me write another one for this. Come on. Monday night has one.
Get a stereo.
I will wake up. I will get out of my divination trance. The gods tell me he's to the south of us.
Okay.
He is still in this forest.
We should hurry before he moves again.
Should we try to get a boat to meet us there or toward the area just in case we have to make chase?
Wiley.
Wiley has a very large boat.
His boat is definitely bigger than his brother's boat. I bet his brother doesn't have a boat. Do you actually say Wiley has a very big boat?
Yeah.
Okay. Wiley actually kind of like stands up just a little straighter and goes, "I do. I can help. Like if you would like, I could go back to Evicro and meet you on the shoreline with the boat."
Yeah, we'll cross to the forest, and if you can meet us on the southern shore, that would be helpful, I guess.
I thought he was our guide.
Would you like the boat, a guide, both? What would you like?
I have a vague idea of approximately where this person might be at. Hopefully, I guess. I mean, I don't know the forests. I don't know what would be more useful. I would imagine if this corruption is as bad as the druids say, as we get closer, it's probably going to be probably going to start infecting the forest itself.
It has begun to infect the forest, but I can offer aid in that now that you have eaten with us and slept with us and not caused
Who slept
harm.
with me?
Yeah,
I
like,
believe
there's
only
some-
one of us slept with one of you.
Yeah, this conversation got really weird really quickly.
No sacrifice.
As
Somebody touched me while I was sleeping.
a spider. Basically, what he's saying is since you obeyed the rules, you didn't harm anything or fuck up the forest, he's offering to lift the protective spell that they have on the forest to confuse you people from making your way through on your own.
You people.
You people.
You people.
You
You
pick.
people.
would
I'm
appreciate
just saying you people.
Yeah, you know, non-druid types.
Hmm.
Thank
That-
you.
That's offensive.
You not druids. Yes, Terry.
I was gonna ask, is there any kind of wards that we can do, or any kind of things that we can have to help fight the corruption, or where we're at if we do start seeing it, or to help us fight against it ourselves?
Unfortunately, at the moment, since we don't know what's causing it, we don't have a cure in that way that you could use even preventatively. I would just say to keep an eye out. Ma'aka has always had extraordinary creatures, but now some of them are more hostile than they used to be.
Some of them
As
are
long-
adorable. Those frog deer things, well, derpy, were amazing.
In my head, they're so cute. They're big eyes. Yeah. You should. Good.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask. So, we're not familiar with these woods, and if we lose our guide, is there something that we can use to compare what the animals normally would look like, and/or worry about the aggressive ones / the wildlife, so we have an idea of the certain places we have been affected?
Do none of you have experience with the forest and the creatures? Alaris.
Yeah, oh, Harrison.
Just raise her hand like,
She's
Well,
kind
I
of.
think yeah, I thought I did too till we saw that last creature.
Yeah, that thing was really weird.
It was just a Volpal Tinger. I mean, it's fine.
Well, actually, that was cute. I was thinking about those weird undead things that we fought before.
Oh, well, I mean,
Those
we
were
all
really
agree.
gross.
Yeah, well, that's different than natural creatures. I mean, the undead things are one of the symptoms of us trying to track down this necromancer dude.
I feel I resent that. Well, I feel like my hat resents that.
Many of us are very comfortable in the forest with forest creatures.
he
But we really could use a strong genius captain to meet us with his boat.
so
Jin just shaking his head.
Wiley definitely is just like, I'll get the boat. I will meet you, and you guys have this map, so he'll point to this entrance, obviously the river here, and he'll say there's a place we could moor up, and he'll gesture to Reyna and say maybe in the meantime, Reyna, you could guide them.
Yeah. I've always wanted to be guided by a giant boar.
Yeah, the boar just looks at him and makes like a snort, like a noise, which seems to be agreement because the conversation doesn't continue.
So, does this thing come with a saddle, or do we just have to ride it bareback?
I'm riding cat too.
I kind of nudge Wiley a little bit, and I just kind of whisper,
Mhm.
Is it really a boar, or is it a person is a boar?
How quiet are you trying to be? Are you trying to be
quiet? She's trying to be pretty quiet. She doesn't want okay to hear.
Yeah. So he'll lean over and just as quietly go, she's one of the druids.
That's what I thought. And then I
Well-
just let Auntie try to see if she's Sally, because I just want to know.
Auntie has no interest in riding the boar, anyways. It
was dull.
But
No.
Auntie's just like looking at the boar and doesn't really care if it's a boar or a druid.
When Dull says, does this thing have a saddle or do we ride bareback? Hooki stands up and says, you will not ride her and you will not refer to her as thing or you will lose my blessing in this forest. You will respect the creatures as you would a person. He gets all uppity about it. but
No, he rides people too. Don't let him see
Don't.
disrespectful.
This is not. That's not a prejudice thing. He literally
Like this all the
he's
time.
I mean, to
actually
be
been-
fair, he is a panda.
He's literally wearing a panda head.
so he's a furry. So as he did with an earlier comment about Doll, he kind of gets the feeling that, oh, this is just a weird character with inside jokes that I'm not privy to. I'll move on from it, and just kind of shrugs it off and allows you guys to continue the conversation. His hand is no longer on a weapon. Oh, I don't think that ever came up. What he's wearing. Aside from
So what head is it right now?
what's Doll at? Panda, polar bear.
Panda right now because he's content.
Okay.
Food wise.
So just real quick, the Ho'oki has a long-handled axe from one hip and a pair of long daggers on the other, and a bow strapped to his back. I just realized I never got to explain his weaponry, so it's fine. That was it. So
Okay, Reina, was it? Please lead on.
it will nudge into Ho'oki, and it is a 12-foot boar, so kind of like knocks him over just a little bit, but he rights himself and pats her, and she begins to walk. And the river in this area has not like proper river stones, but it's one of those where it's receded enough that there's a natural land path that you can walk across. And later when the tide comes, it will rise up again.
I'm gonna try to insight to figure out if Bassam thinks this is a druid or a boar real quick.
Yeah, go for it. You can tell this is a druid. This is not just a boar.
Okay. So she won't actively start complaining about how the druids are, how weird the druids are.
She honestly probably totally could with this character. All right. And as you guys start off, Wiley just kind of waves goodbye. Oh, go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, no worries. Pretty much after we get a good distance away from where we actually left, he's going to try to pull a saddle out of his bag and try to get as close as he can.
Okay. If you're gonna do
like,
that,
Doll, that's a druid.
So,
how
Why didn't you say so? That doesn't make any sense. I'm
How-
going to try to mount the druid. That's kind of rude.
okay, I need you to give me a dex check.
Who?
Doll.
Oh.
I'm happy with this one. Yeah, roll a dex check. All right, well, I got a nat 20, so hold on. All right, it smacks into you and knocks you prone, and you take 10 points of damage.
Oh.
And it keeps walking.
At this point,
What-
Auntie will be
But-
like, "Doll, that literally is a druid. Please don't."
But-
trust that
besides besides the bear head, what does Doll wear?
Robes, right?
Nothing.
No, you have a set of robes, isn't it?
A set of robes for the most part, and then just like an apron every once in a while when I'm cooking and other stuff when I'm cleaning.
I give Florian a mental command to pick up Doll by his robes. He's laying in the ground. Yeah, and just carry him with us.
I'll carry you like from the robe.
So Alaris will start walking beside Reyna. Go, I have to apologize for my companion. I think sometimes he doesn't have that. Possibly more of him has faded than it should, or possibly he's been a little bit thrown by the undead we've been coming across and had some deep soul searching. But I would like to apologize for him.
Does first a charisma check for that,
Okay, just
or,
straight
or diplomacy or whatever charisma-based one you would like to go.
Jin is getting kind of like irritated now, and he's like, well, it is bad that he tried to ride you without your permission, but it also is very rude to not show your face to us
Yeah,
ever.
You have been in that form for quite a while, and I
Yeah,
feel like
like this situation is near intolerable.
Alaris, do you have, I forget, do you have animal handling skills or?
I do. My animal handling is +9.
Okay. So with that, the boar, Reina stays close.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
can't speak common though, right?
Not while they're in animal form, no.
They can
But they can
understand though.
understand it.
Yeah. So she understands and hears all of you
Yeah, she's still being rude, not changing back and talking.
and continues to walk with Alaris and gently nudges her, but continues walking. She was asked to guide you guys. You haven't. So far, the only response has been to try and ride her and to demand she reveal a different form of herself, which no one's tried to. If you want to try and roll to convince her, you're more than welcome to make charisma rolls. So
Yeah,
far,
I'll roll to convince her.
sure. Alaris has, she's no longer as angry. I'll give you that. She doesn't, as much as a boar can look pissed off, she no longer looks pissed off.
I will tell her, to be honest, I like the tusks, and then I will smile with my tusks.
Yeah, I think you guys are confused. That's a boar there. Just
She
one,
also,
two.
she makes the, again, like the horses make that woof noise, she'll make that at Wiskava. And so for Din, what do you say to convince her to change?
I'm just saying that I'm like, it's just rather weird that you just never showed yourself. I mean, it's hard for me to follow somebody who's I'm having a hard time getting a read on.
She'll stop, and she's 12 foot, so you all have to kind of stop too following her unless you go. I know, I was literally finishing my sentence, Chester. Call me your acrobatic tits. You're fine in the trees. Everyone on the ground is pulled to the top unless they want to go around. And I don't remember the description for what it looks like with Wild Shape. Suddenly standing before you is an enormous full orc woman of dark skin. She also has spikes coming out of her human-ish shoulders, red paint down her. She is buck-ass naked, looks at you and goes, "It's rather rude to demand things of people you don't know. I was asked to guide you, not to speak with you." And she drops back into boar and keeps walking.
I like her.
Did she have a resemblance to Ioke and Wiley?
No, not even close. Not even close. She's full orc, and she looks around Ho'oki's age, so older than Wiley, but no, not related.
So I think she's upset, but I'm not sure why.
Can't imagine. God, I wonder. Okay.
Some people are just surly, doll. But I like her anyway.
I like the confidence, though.
Yeah.
So the problem is now we're at 10 minutes, and
my back is actually beginning to hurt.
yeah, I also am definitely losing my voice again. So